Hello, everyone. My name is Jacqueline Kaba, and I am the founder of Realizing Your Potential. And actually, I have been recording a series of videos in reference to goal setting, and I just recently did one called Internal versus External Motivation. And it was actually two videos, but now I'm just combining them into one video. And basically, I just wanted to piggyback on some different things that I had talked about in some previous videos. And I wanted to take it a little bit further and actually discuss motivation. So basically, the videos I had put out before talked a little bit about narrowing down your goals, meaning brainstorming different ideas, figuring out the best way to describe your goal. And after you do that, make yourself a list, put the goal up at the top, make a list of different actions that are needed to be taken in order to achieve that particular goal, and list those underneath your goal. And as you go along, check them off as you go along. That way you'll see little bits of progress, and it'll help motivate you to keep going. So I talked about that previously, but this time I wanted to talk a little bit about internal versus external motivation. And basically what I want you to do, or what I think would be a good idea, is to actually sit down and look at a particular goal that you achieved in the past. And basically take a look at what were the circumstances around you achieving that goal. Meaning, how did you stay motivated? Okay? So basically what that means is for you to sit down, you're actually going to examine what kept you motivated. Because sometimes it's easy to start off right and to be initially motivated by doing something or wanting to do something, but maybe a week, 2 weeks, a month, maybe even 2 months in, we kind of fizzle out. So this will get you to examine particular instances in the past where you've carried it full out and you've actually achieved a particular goal, and look at the circumstances around achieving that particular goal. Okay, and once you look at that, you can begin to understand what motivates you, because everybody is motivated by something different. So there's two parts to this video here. One is actually examining what motivated you in the past, so that way you can look at it and be able to tweak it and actually apply that in the future when you're trying to achieve a particular goal. Or if there's certain things that you know make you lose interest and make you kind of go sideways or be led astray by something, that way you know what to look for, and you can kind of like knock it out as soon as it begins to rear its head and try to knock you off task, or get you to lose focus. And the second piece of the puzzle, I think, is always good to understand internal versus external motivation. And basically what I mean by that is external could be, and I think the example that I used before was like maybe taking a Zumba class. Let's say you start working out, you say, I want to lose weight 2017, I want to drop, 20 pounds. And you join a gym, or you heard a friend talk about this fun Zumba class. And then, as you start taking the class, you really like the teacher, you like the people that's in the class, you get excited, you get really motivated. And then all of a sudden, maybe the teacher decides to switch over to another gym in another city. And then all of a sudden you lose interest. You lose your motivation to go to Zumba class, right? And you didn't have another backup plan. So I'm just throwing that out there. That's just the first thing that comes to my mind in reference to external motivation, because you were motivated externally by maybe the people that you were in the class with, or you guys had a good time, you laughed and you joked, you pumped each other up. Or maybe that particular teacher got you really excited and got you, really excited about losing weight and really made you feel you can do it. Okay, which that's how you can tell a good aerobics instructor. But that's not what we're talking about right now. We're talking about internal versus external motivation. So that would be my quick, off the top of my head example of what I feel external motivation is. Now, internal motivation, that's a whole different story. That is something that you create inside your own mind that motivates you, whatever that is inside your head or within inside you that motivates you, and no one can take that away from you. No one can take that away from you. And I feel that long as you can distinguish internal versus external, and that way when you're sitting down, you're creating your goal, your aspirations, your dreams, you're writing them down. This is the type of thing that you want to do. This is your vision. You want to be clear about that vision. You want to stay focused. You want to create a task or action plan for yourself that's going to take you step by step and inch you towards creating that goal, creating that situation or whatever it is that you're trying to achieve. And you have to figure out a way to be internally motivated. That way, whatever can go on externally, but it doesn't make you lose focus on that goal or whatever that prize is. And I feel, again, if you sit down and you examine different, maybe take 3 instances in the past that you've been successful at achieving a goal, you know, especially the type of goal that takes longevity, maybe losing weight, maybe achieving a degree, maybe, I don't know, being successful at a marriage, or a particular project that took you a long time at your job. Look internally and think about, what was it inside of you? What did you tell yourself? What did you play over and over again in your head that allowed you to stay motivated? And that's something that you create, and only you can turn that on and off. External is without of your control. That's outside of you. So take a look at that, and you know, hopefully that can be helpful, and you can figure out what that internal motivation trigger is for you, and you can ignite that flame and use that to propel you to achieve whatever goals you have for yourself for 2017. Or actually, I don't really make New Year's resolutions, but to me, every day, every week, every month, I am working a particular action plan that is leading me closer, step by step, to different goals that I have, whether it be short-term, long-term goals, whether it be something tangible, maybe intangible, you know, because of course tangible is something like I want to keep my social work licensure active and up to date. That's tangible. Get the application, pay them their money. You know, somebody got to get paid. Pay them their money, wait on the license to come in the mail, boom, that's done. Maybe internal, maybe something in reference to like self-improvement. Maybe I want to work on, I don't know, anger management. Like, you know, sometimes I can have a short fuse. So maybe I want to work on controlling my anger. You know, like that could be a particular goal of mine. Because externally, you know what, and just, you know, I know I'm kind of going off course a little bit, but that's another thing. Like in terms of people saying things along the lines of, well, you know, in order to control my anger, this person got me angry, this person got me upset, therefore I had to go off. In actuality, you really didn't have to go off. The bottom line is that you can't control what that person does or doesn't do. You can control how you react to it. And if you make it a goal and you focus on it and you stop and you take a minute to think before you react, then at that point you can, that's your own anger management class right there. But at any rate, that's a whole nother sidebar. But the reason it made me think about that, and I wanted to mention that now, is because again, that's internal versus external motivation. You're realizing you're basically taking control. You're basically taking control. And whether it's, like I said, tangible or intangible goals, really, you're taking control because you are internally, at that point, you have internally become responsible for achieving that particular goal. At any rate, hopefully this may have been, you know, helpful for some. Again, you know, everything that works for one particular person doesn't work for the other, you know, and just figured that, you know, it was something that was on my mind and something that I'm constantly thinking about, and I try to stay aware of it. And if in the process I can put it out there and it may help someone else, I mean, that's excellent. You know, that makes me feel good. Because I know a lot of people have helped me in the past. At any rate, everyone have a good evening, and I'll talk to you again soon.